Hi, my name is Pamela Puja-Kirpalani, and I'm the founder and the lead trainer for an NLP coaching company called Inner High Living. You are now watching Parenting Through Quarantine with the E-Times. Well, we're surely all living in extraordinary times now, aren't we? Most of us are all stuck at home, having to rely on different types of technologies to connect and communicate with others during this period of social isolation. Now, having said this, us parents also find that we have a new job to deal with at home, and this is homeschooling. Now, I'm sure I can speak for most of us when I say that suddenly having to become a teacher overnight to your own child can seem like a daunting process. Okay, a lot of parents are currently experiencing frustration and anxiety and panicking, especially with the new technologies that have come about that we haven't actually been exposed to, but we take for granted that our children know how to use. Not only this, the sense of also not knowing when the kids will be going back to school also further incites a sense of anxiety in the household. And we have to remember that the child has been suddenly uprooted from their regular routine, seeing their friends and interacting in a school environment too. So it's very important that we don't make them feel that they are a burden to our new home routine as well. So, since it looks like the coronavirus is not going to dissipate anytime soon, why don't we make the most of the situation and learn how to really connect and capitalize on the homeschooling process? Well, how does one really begin the homeschooling day in the right way? Well, there's a couple of reframing techniques that we need to use. The first one is that in order for you to go into the homeschooling day with a positive mindset, the idea is to reframe how you're thinking about it in your own mind. And the first thing I tell myself before I go straight to the laptop with my son or with my daughter is that the work that they submit does not have to be perfect. It's okay if they make mistakes, because at the end of the day, right now, all the teacher really needs to or wants to know is that they are imbibed and they are streamlined into a proper working routine. That's all the parents and the teachers and the kids really need to work towards at the current moment. Secondly, what a wonderful opportunity this is to actually connect with your child and learn about their strengths and weaknesses. What is it that they actually enjoy? What are the subjects that they're weak on? Perhaps they need more help in fractions. These are all good things for us to know, because then that enables us to know what to hone in and to practice with them further. Not only this, a teacher cannot give that much personalized attention to the child. And so we are getting this opportunity to really work in a really, really direct, hands-on way with our kid. What's more important than that? Secondly, I like to do a joint intention with my child every morning. So for example, our joint intention on Friday was to have as much fun as possible and to find humor in the work in some way or another. So one way we did this was by each of us trying different accents while we were reading out the comprehension homework. And that incited a lot of laughter too. Another trick that I use to pre-frame before we go into the homeschooling day is by actually telling my child what my patience levels are, from a level of 0 to 10. So for example, if I'm not feeling so patient that day, I might say, okay, my patience levels are 3. Why do I do this? Because it gets the child out of a me-focused frame of mind, and then they're able to develop a sense of empathy too with their parent, which helps in the homeschooling process. Now, after a while, perhaps maybe after a week or two, the child might find that they are feeling a little bit demotivated. So how do we keep them academically motivated during the homeschooling process? Firstly, as a parent, it's tempting to give the child the answer, because we also want them to submit their work in time and we want to move on to the next topic, but that doesn't do anyone any good, does it? So one technique I use for the child to discover their own answer is what I like to call the excavation technique. And how do we use the excavation technique? We use words such as how, what, where, when, and why. So for example, I might ask my child, well, how would you feel if you were in Anna's situation when she experienced that particular problem? This, I feel, helps the child figure out the answer on their own, and you can keep using those leading questions until they get to the answer which they feel is right, not which you feel is right. Secondly, I like to change the position of where they sit every day, because I feel that gives them a fresh viewpoint. It motivates them. It gives them a bit of excitement. Okay, where am I going to sit today? And it incites a bit of fun as well in the whole routine. You can take them to your garden, you can take them up to your rooftop, you can just change them from the living room to the bedroom. You can do whatever it takes to have them anchor different positions during their homeschooling day. Lastly, the 3 things you must never say to your child during the homeschooling process is, number 1, you are wrong. Number 2, you have made a mistake. And number 3, personifying them negatively by saying you are lazy or you can't do anything right. Now, instead of doing this, you can focus on the process, such as, well, what can we learn from next time when we do this? Or can you see what you can do better next time as well? Use words such as effort and improvement, because that is what instills the growth mindset in the child and encourages them to work harder next time. Thank you for watching this episode of Parenting Through Quarantine.